Picture this. You open a blank page. Your coffee is cold. The cursor blinks like it's judging you. And you tell yourself, I need an original idea. And right there, the worst thing happens. Not that you don't write. It's that you start scrolling. 3 minutes later, you're watching someone who's doing exactly what you want to do. Better, faster, cleaner, more confident. And your brain whispers, see, it's already been done. So you close the tab, but the damage stays. Now every idea feels stolen before you even touch it. Here's the cold truth. You're not stuck because you lack talent. You're stuck because you're chasing originality like it's a finish line. In a minute, I'll show you the single rule Austin Kleon uses to turn "I have no ideas" into a non-stop creative engine. And later, I'll give you one sentence that kills comparison instantly. Write one word somewhere, right now. Remix. This video is based on Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, and if that title makes you uncomfortable, good, because most people misunderstand it. He's not telling you to copy people. He's telling you to stop waiting for lightning. Here's what you'll get if you stay to the end. You'll walk away with a simple system to generate ideas on command, a clean line between inspired and cringe copy, and a 20-minute daily routine that builds your style even when you feel empty. And if you click away, you'll keep doing the same loop: consume, compare, freeze, repeat. That loop steals more creativity than any stolen idea ever could. Payoff map. So you know this isn't a lecture. At about 25%, you'll feel instant relief because you'll realize originality is not your job. At 50%, I'll hit you with the anti-advice that makes most creators uncomfortable, but it works. At 80%, I'll end the video and then reveal the real reason your creativity keeps dying. Before we go further, answer this. What do you create? One word. Nothing is original, and that's the best news you'll hear today. Let's rip the bandage off. If you're waiting for a completely original idea, you're basically waiting for a unicorn. It's not happening. Every style you love is a remix. Every genius you admire had a shelf full of influences. And the moment you accept that, something weird happens. You relax. You stop guarding ideas like they're rare diamonds. And you start working. Picture this. You're staring at your notes, and you think, this sounds like something I've heard before. And shame kicks in. You feel fake before you even create. But what you're actually noticing is the roots. You can see your influences. That doesn't make you a fraud. That means you're awake. Here's the cold truth in one sentence. Originality isn't creating from nothing. It's creating from something honestly. Now do the first drill. It takes 10 seconds. Open your Notes app and write 3 things that shaped you. 1 book, 1 creator, 1 person in your real life. Don't overthink it. Just write, because that list is your creative DNA. And your job isn't to pretend it doesn't exist. Your job is to combine it in a way that only you can. Here's where most people mess up. They try to create before they collect. So flip the question. Stop asking, what can I create? Start asking, what can I collect? Because creators don't wait for ideas. They build a museum. And in the next part, I'll show you the line that separates inspiration from imitation. It's the difference between people respecting your work and people instantly feeling the cringe. Steal the process, not the product. Here's the line that keeps you clean. Steal like an artist, not like a thief. A thief takes the final result and pretends it's theirs. An artist studies the blueprint, then builds a different house. Let's make this painfully practical. If you copy someone's exact video title, you're stealing the product. If you copy their structure, pacing, scene switches, and emotional beats, you're stealing the process. And that's not cheating, that's training. Quick test. When you look at a creator you admire, do you obsess over what they made, or do you obsess over how they made it? Because if you only steal the surface, you'll always look like the discount version. But if you steal the engine, you start developing horsepower. Now the fastest way to ruin this and look unoriginal. You steal from one source. You fall in love with one person's style, one channel, one aesthetic, and you copy it so hard that everyone can trace it back in 5 seconds. That's not influence. That's a costume. So here's your drill for today. Pick one creator you respect. Just one. Now write 5 things about their process, not their outcome. How do they open? How do they transition? How do they simplify? How do they build stakes? How do they end? You're not collecting their words. You're collecting their moves. And here's what happens when you do this right. The moment you steal from many, your work stops looking borrowed. It starts looking inevitable. Because your job is not to find one hero. Your job is to collect 10 teachers. And in the next part, I'll show you how to turn those teachers into something that feels like your voice. There's a simple 2-minute test that reveals your style fingerprint almost instantly. Make it yours. Put your signature on the remix, so now you've got ingredients. Good ones. But here's the part that secretly scares most creators. How do I make this feel like me and not like a collage? The answer is annoyingly simple. You don't think your way into a style, you work your way into it. Style isn't a decision, it's a residue. It's what's left over after you create the same kind of thing again and again. But we can speed it up with a 2-minute test. Take one idea you collected today, one concept, one prompt, one format. Now rewrite it 3 ways. First, make it shorter. Cut until it almost hurts. Second, make it harsher. Say the part you normally soften. Third, make it funnier. Add one twist you didn't expect. If you felt a shift, that's not luck. That's your fingerprint showing up. Because what makes your work yours is not the idea. It's the filter, your taste, your life, your obsessions, your scars, your weirdly specific way of explaining something. That's why stealing the right way isn't copying someone's voice. It's borrowing their microphone. Now do this quick micro move right now. Open your notes and write one sentence. My work is for people who finish it in one line. Not everyone. Not the whole internet. One type of person. Because the moment you know who you're talking to, your style gets louder, your choices get sharper, your editing gets ruthless. And here's the payoff. When you remix for a specific person, your work stops feeling borrowed. It starts feeling inevitable. In the next part, we'll hit the move that changes everything. If you don't show your work, you stay invisible. And if you show it the wrong way, you burn out. Show your work, or you stay invisible. All right? This is where most creators get stuck for years. They're not failing because they don't have ideas. They're failing because they treat their work like it's a secret. They hide until it's perfect. And while they hide, someone louder wins. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If nobody sees your process, nobody trusts your result. Picture a micro scene. You spend hours making something. You polish it. You fix tiny details no one will notice. Then you post it once, and it gets silence. So your brain decides, see, I'm not good enough. And you disappear again. But the problem wasn't your talent. The problem was your relationship with visibility. People don't fall in love with finished work. They fall in love with watching someone become better. That's why show your work is not a marketing trick. It's a creativity survival tool. Now here's the safest way to start, without feeling exposed. Don't share your masterpiece. Share your thumbnail sketch. Share the before. Share the messy middle. Share the sentence you cut. Share the mistake you learned from. Share what you're experimenting with. Micro commitment drill. Do it right now. Write one line you could post today. I'm testing a new way to, and here's what I learned. Fill the blank with whatever you create. Writing, editing, design, music, business, anything. Because the moment you start sharing the process, 2 things happen. 1, you build momentum. 2, you build an audience that feels like they're part of the journey. But there's a trap here, and it's the reason people burn out. If you show your work with no boundaries, you turn creation into performance. And performance will drain you faster than hard work ever could. So in the next part, I'm going to give you the anti-advice most creators hate. Because the fastest way to create consistently is not more inspiration. It's stealing something else entirely. The anti-advice. Don't wait for inspiration. Steal a routine. Here's the anti-advice that sounds boring, but it's the reason some people create for years while others quit. Stop trying to feel inspired. Start trying to feel scheduled. Because motivation is unreliable, and waiting for the perfect mood is just procrastination wearing a nicer outfit. Austin Kleon's point is simple. The best artists don't have more ideas, they have better habits. So instead of stealing a person's style, steal their routine. Here's the 20-minute system. It's almost too small to argue with. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Pick one thing from your museum, one page, one clip, one reference. And make something tiny from it. Not perfect, not publishable, just real. A paragraph, a sketch, a hook, a thumbnail idea, a melody, a rough draft that proves you showed up. Because showing up is the skill. Micro-commitment drill. Do this today, not tomorrow. After this video, set a 20-minute timer and create a version 0, then stop. Even if it's bad. That last part matters, because your brain needs to learn. Creation is safe. Creation is normal. Creation is daily. And here's the scary truth. If you don't build a routine, you don't just lose output, you lose identity. You start calling yourself someone who wants to create instead of a creator. And that shift is brutal. Now we're almost at the part most people skip. But before we go there, there's one more mistake that kills this whole system. It's the reason your routine collapses after a good week. And it has nothing to do with discipline. So let's recap. You stop worshiping originality. You start collecting. You steal the process, not the product. You remix until your fingerprint shows up. You show your work so you're not invisible. And you lock it in with a simple daily routine. That's it. That's the whole game. Honestly, if you do just those things, your creative life will change. So yeah, that's the video. But wait, this is the part almost everyone skips. And it's exactly why they stay stuck. Because you can do everything right on paper and still kill your creativity in real life. And the killer isn't lack of ideas, it's something quieter. Something you do without noticing. The silent killer, comparison and shame comparison, is the tax you pay for being online. You open Instagram just for a second, and suddenly you're in a highlight reel of everyone's best moments. Someone's launching, someone's going viral, someone's posting daily like a machine, and your brain does the most predictable thing in the world. It turns their finished product into your starting line. That's how shame sneaks in, not as a big dramatic feeling, but as a tiny thought. Whatever I make won't be enough. And that single thought destroys more art than criticism ever will. Here's the line that shuts it down. Write it down. Seriously. Their output is not my timeline. Say it again, because you'll need it on your worst days. Their output is not my timeline. Now let's make it practical with 3 rules that protect your creative life. Rule 1. Don't consume before you create. If you start your day by watching other people win, you start your day behind. Create first, consume later. Rule 2. Unfollow anything that turns you bitter. Not because it's bad, but because it's bad for you. Your inputs shape your courage. Rule 3. Measure yourself by consistency, not applause. The internet rewards spikes. Your life rewards reps. Micro-commitment drill. Do it right now. Pick one account, one channel, one feed that makes you shrink. Mute it for 7 days. Not forever, just 7. Replace it with one source that teaches you, not tempts you. Because the goal isn't to live in a bubble. The goal is to keep your museum inspiring, not intimidating. And here's the final punchline. You don't become an artist by having an original idea. You become an artist by showing up long enough for your style to appear. In the last part, I'll tie this into one simple checklist you can use today, and I'll give you the one line worth rewatching. All right, here's your checklist for today. 1. Stop chasing originality. Start collecting inputs on purpose. 2. Steal the process, not the product. Build your own engine. 3. Remix fast until your fingerprint shows up. 4. Show your work so people can trust your result. 5. Protect your creativity from comparison and lock it in with a routine. Now one real next step, small enough to actually do. After this video, set a 20-minute timer and make a version 0. 1. Rough draft. 1. Messy attempt. 1. Tiny output. Then, write one sentence. What did I learn? If you want to make this practical, answer this in the comments. What do you create, and what's the first thing you're going to remix this week? And here's the one line worth rewatching. Save it. Your style is the fingerprint of what you do every day, not the lightning strike you're waiting for. Now, if you want the perfect next video from this channel, watch Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time. It connects directly to today's idea because it shows how to escape the operator loop, protect your attention, and build systems that keep you creating instead of constantly reacting.